Okay. Colleagues, leaders, members of parliament, members of the cabinet, Kenyans, good evening.
Good evening.
Now, I have a very brief statement to make. First, you can imagine that I am very happy to be home. It is, my dear fellow Kenyans, I have been away for the last 1 week at Hague in the Netherlands in connection with a case I am defending at the ICC. I learned of the terrorist attack at the Westgate last Saturday with great shock and sadness. It being a weekend, I could not travel at once without the permission of the ICC's trial chamber, and it was deeply frustrating to be so far away at a time when my countrymen and women were being tormented by criminals. Even so, I remained in constant touch with His Excellency the President, who assured me and also received regular updates from the responsible state agencies. At the earliest opportunity, I requested and was allowed to leave The Hague briefly in order to be home at this time. I feel much better being here than sitting away at a time like this in our country. Kenya is the only home that I know, and my first responsibility will always be to Kenya and its people. I have been encouraged by Kenya's magnificent response to the attack. Our President's fortitude in withstanding deep personal grief while leading the nation in taking charge of the situation has been exemplary and humbling. We have been assaulted by hateful, unthinking cowards whose depravity motivates them to seek gratification in killing and maiming innocent, harmless people. Their moral deformity is monstrous and appalling. Their commitment to evil has robbed their hearts of the merest suggestion of human consideration. That does not mean that they are impregnable. As we have just demonstrated, terrorism can and must be fought mercilessly and defeated wherever it occurs. I join our President and the Kenyan nation to mourn those who perished in the mayhem and to comfort the bereaved and the injured. Poleni sana. I have been praying and will continue to pray for all of you who find divine solace at the feet of God. I also associate myself with the President's appreciation of all the selfless and commendable demonstrations of generosity, empathy, and goodwill. You have helped a lot to relieve the suffering and the grief of affected families and demonstrated to our enemies how indomitable the Kenyan spirit is. There have been hundreds of thousands of donors, volunteers, good Samaritans, who responded unbidden and without any hesitation whatsoever to the suffering of their brothers and sisters. You never asked the name of the affected, where in this country or the world they come from, or whether they were ever related to you. It was enough that they are human and that they needed you. And you gave without thought of your own interest and without expecting any reward. That is the finest demonstration of your innate nobility and integrity that anyone can require of you. Our officers from the Kenya Defence Forces and the police services, as usual, continued to serve selflessly and make painful sacrifices on our behalf. I have been deeply touched to learn that you have lost colleagues while confronting terrorists. I join the President and the nation in expressing our appreciation for your service. Many of our international friends have expressed their solidarity and support to Kenya during this crisis. We appreciate their words of comfort and offers of assistance. Just as we are our brother's keeper, friendly relations are each other's keeper. Although we have subdued the terrorists on our own, we will not forget that these friends stood by us. I have learned that the M-Pesa pay bill account for donation has accumulated over 40 million shillings out of digital solidarity and generosity. I'm also aware that hospitals treating the injured turned away hundreds of people when their capacity was overwhelmed with blood donations. Today, the Kenya Red Cross stopped its drive because they were no longer able to receive the donations of thousands who queued at Uhuru Park and other places in the country. More than this, there are many people donating and helping to keep the multi-agency intervention seamlessly supported. Cumulatively assessed, you have done astoundingly and wonderfully well. But your achievement goes beyond that. Your effort transcends the sum of individual contribution. It is actually a miracle. Kenya is a nation of wonder workers, and I am proud to be one of you. Truly, deeply, powerfully proud. We have defeated hatred with pure love. We overcame cruelty with kindness. We have conquered mindless anarchy with sanity and composure. We have answered cowardice with solid courage. This way, the seeds of discord and despondency gave way to solidarity and resolve. And we have triumphed. God, whom we hail in our national anthem and acknowledge in our Constitution, answered our prayers and stood on our side. Whatever the protestations of the perpetrators of this insupportable attack, they work for the devil. We shall not relent. We shall sustain the work of keeping Kenya safe to protect ourselves and our prosperity. We will keep on being what we always have been, a tolerant, open, democratic, and peaceful people. God bless you all, and God bless our great country, Kenya. I will take maybe one or two questions, if there are any. And if there are none, yes.
Mimi naitwa Hassan Juma kutoka KTN. Pengine mheshimiwa utupatie wasia wako kwa lugha ya Kiswahili, hususan wakati huu mgumu ambapo Wakenya wana majonzi. Je, wasia wako ni upi kwa nchi nzima, pengine kwa lugha ya Kiswahili?
Okay. Yes. Next person.
Thank you. My name is Enoch Sekolia from NTV. Now my question is, the Al-Shabaab militia, which has so far claimed responsibility of what has befallen us, says that it's going to make Kenya one of the unsafest places on the planet. Now, as in your conversation with the president, have you actually talked about how you are going to ensure that the country is safe? and actually assure Kenyans that they are safe?
First, let me bring to your attention and to that of the nation that we've thwarted many attempts and barbaric group. And we are going to up our game as a nation. And we want them to know that Kenya is ready for them. We will defend the lives and property and the prosperity of the people of Kenya. We have what it takes to make our country safe. And it doesn't matter, because they work for the devil, we work for the living God. And we will defeat them. We will defeat them. Any other question? No other question. No other question, then I can talk about Kiswahili. Okay. Nimesema ya kwamba nimefurahi kufika nyumbani jioni ya leo. Nimekuwa katika nchi ya Uholanzi, na leo asubuhi nilipata kibali ili nije nisimame na Wakenya wenzangu, hasa katika wakati huu mgumu ambao taifa lote liko na shida ya maafa na majeruhi ya wananchi ambao hawana hatia chini ama kwa mikono ya watu wahuni, watu ambao hawafai kuishi katika dunia ya 21. Na ingawaje sikuweza kupata nafasi ya kuchangia, niliongea na Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya mara nyingi na wale wanaohusika na usalama katika taifa letu, na nimefurahi kufika jioni ya leo ili nisimame na jamii za wale waliopoteza wapendwa wao, na vile vile kusimama na Wakenya waliojeruhiwa na kuchangia pia katika kumsaidia Mheshimiwa Rais katika kukabiliana na janga hili na kuhakikisha kwamba askari wetu na wale wote wanaohusika na mambo ya usalama wamepatiwa support ya kutosha ili waweze kutekeleza wajibu wao ya kuhakikisha kwamba Wakenya wote wako salama. Nimeambiwa ya kwamba kazi ambayo inaendelea katika kule Westgate tayari imefika awamu ya mwisho, na pengine kabla ya mwisho ya siku ya kesho hiyo kazi yote itakuwa imekamilika, na wale wahuni tutakuwa tumewaweka katika mikono ya serikali. Vile vile ningependa kusema shukrani nyingi kwa Wakenya wote wa kutoka sehemu mbalimbali kwa mchango wao na Ukenya ambao walionyesha kwa kutoa damu, kutoa pesa, kuchangia katika kuwasafirisha wale waliojeruhiwa na kusaidia katika njia mbalimbali kuhakikisha kwamba sote kwa pamoja tunasimama kama Wakenya, hasa wakati huu ambao tuko na shida hii. And maybe it is good for me to say again that our resolve to make Kenya safe is unfettered. We are determined, we are resolved that Kenya is going to be a safe country, safe for our children, safe for our investors, safe for our tourists, and safe for every Kenyan, so that we can secure their lives, their property, and our collective prosperity as a nation. And that we are determined to make sure that nobody dares to challenge our commitment to making Kenya safe. It's also instructive to note that it's really unfortunate that the terror gangs believed that maybe they would invade our country when the president was scheduled to leave for the United Nations General Assembly while I was away attending to this case. Yes. We are telling them, shame on them. Yeah. Shame. Because this country is going to be safe. And it really doesn't matter what they do. They belong to the past. And their doctrine and religion is primitive and backward. And they have no place in the modern society that Kenya is. And I want to congratulate everybody, especially the many people I saw in queues sharing their blood with their fellow citizens. That was very touching. And to many Kenyans who supported our security forces and supported the media and many other Kenyans who demonstrated their solidarity, especially in this time. That is the Kenyan spirit that we all have. And it's amazing to be Kenyan. It's amazing. This is the only country where people cross ranks at the earliest opportunity to deal with adversity together. And that is what Kenya is. And I'm proud, as I said, to be one. Thank you very much.